I have another question.
Like,
because yes, everything you're saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, moms.
Okay. Yeah. The mom.
You can only act like a sex craved nymphomaniac behind closed doors. Like,
Well,
I'm not saying that you can't like kiss your husband and hug on him and things like that. You should be doing that. But you also don't want to be overly sexual in front of your children.
Right.
So, like, that's why I guess I'm saying too, what are the more like not blatantly sexual ways that
to
a woman,
show desire,
yes,
right?
Because like there are a lot of moms, and there are a lot of moms where their problem is kind of what you said, maybe even the opposite, where men don't really want to have sex with them. Right. And they're putting on the lingerie, they're trying to seduce their man, and he's not interested in her. So like, what about that scenario? Or like, what about, how can she make him feel desired when they can't necessarily be like naked sitting on the couch or whatever, but she wants him to still feel desired?
Right. So again, it doesn't have to come to fruition, but the want has to be there, right? So how can you make the want? It can be a text message that you send. It can be a naughty picture that you send of yourself, right?
Don't let your children get your phone.
You doing something naughty to yourself, or talking about something naughty that you did to yourself because you had to do it because you were so filled with lust for this man.
Well, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Because this is something that you taught me that I think a lot of women don't understand either.
Okay.
That men want to hear about the things you do to yourself.
Yeah.
And they want you to tell them what to do to you.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm like, that sounds so selfish and self-centered. And like, you're trying to make it about him and he feel desired. And as a woman, I'm like, oh, so I'm going to touch on him. I'm going to I'm going to tell him all the things I want to do to him. And you're over here like, that's nice. I'm not saying that you don't think that's nice, but you're like, this actually makes a man feel more desired. And I think women everywhere right now are probably like, what? Like, not that it's like totally shocking, but that it was shocking for me to hear that instead of me coming on to you in the way that I just mentioned, it makes you feel more desired when you tell me what you want from me or you to do to me.
Yeah. Okay. There are a couple of things I could say about that. So one, how do you know that a guy is horny?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but he wants something from you. He doesn't want to give you something. He wants something from you.
An orgasm.
I mean, if you're putting it blunt, but I think he's seeking after, like he wants to get gratified from you, right? That's what.
Okay.
So that's why when women are trying to display desire for a man and they're like, and again, doing something to him is great as well, but I try to keep this as PG as I can, but
yes, please.
Doing something to him by itself is great. And every guy will not refuse that. And they'll say it's great. Okay. However, either do it to yourself, needing it from him, or needing to do it to him in order to derive pleasure to yourself. That's what's hot. And that's what.
But women would say that is why they want to do it. Like they want to do stuff to you because it makes them turned on.
But are they expressing that? That is the key. See, because
they just got to say that.
Got to say it. Got to say it. Got to show it. Got to be like, I got to have it.
I mean, I feel like they do show it, and maybe they're like, I am showing it because I'm doing it, and I told you I wanted to do it, but then
do it without asking. Just go for it or do it. You know what I'm saying? That shows because again, when we're talking about desire, right? It's when
the
women want
pursuit of it.
Right, okay, think about it as a woman. How do you want to feel desired? Do you want to feel desired as to like some words or some things, or hey, we're having sex, so obviously I desire you, or do you want to feel like ravished? Do you want to feel like gotta have it?
I think that's why women get confused, though, and that's why I brought this up when you talked about it. Is that I think most women do feel desired when she hears what a man wants to do to her rather than like what he wants her to do to him. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that doesn't turn her on, but I'm saying that I think like when you are feminine and being like submissive too, you want to know what someone wants to do to you because their desire for doing those things to you like makes you feel desired. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So women think
it's easy,
if I pursue him like that or like tell him all the things that I want to do to him, he'll feel desired.
And that's true.
Which I'm not saying you're not saying to do none of that. There is like you do still do that.
It just has to come across that way as doing that to him turns you on. Then that creates that desire gap, right? If it's like, if it feels in any way like a chore, or if it feels in any way like I'm just doing you a favor, or if it feels in any way like,
well,
there's
feel
reservation. You see what I'm saying?
Is more the respect thing, I would think.
But like, no, but it's a desire thing because if it feels like a favor or a chore, right? Then
but if
there's
you
not
view it that way, then that's what I'm saying. I think it's where the lack of respect or admiration for your man is because it shouldn't be like a chore or whatever. And if like you're really into the person that you're with, you're going to be really into the experience.
But that in itself doesn't make it like the desire. Like think about it. You know, you've talked about this before. Again, we'll keep it PG 13-ish. You know, don't want to get the NC-17 rating, but okay. So when if you are receiving pleasure, let's put those words.
Okay.
Then you want it to be done in such a way that someone hasn't had a meal in very long time and they're very hungry, right? So that's the same type of thing, right? So that's what I'm saying is that energy, that desire, that indicates desire. That's why it's such a turn on is because it indicates a high level of desire.
Okay.
Right? It's not like not just doing the job, but I enjoy doing the job. That's the thing so it's the same thing. But again, like I said,
I mean, I'm just saying this is like
more of a directed
for the women who are trying to show their man desire and they are desiring their man, but he still might not feel desired is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's hard, but if you really, really think about it, you can figure out the pieces. And again, okay, we talked about in the male episode, what is the Bible for women? Like you want to understand women, to understand psychology and understand being romantic. Look at romance novels. Duh, it's obvious. You just read that and then you can see exactly. That's what I mean. So many women are consuming romance novels because that's their fantasy that they want.
Don't tell me that you're going to tell women to watch porn.
I'm not.
Because we did a whole episode on how porn is cheating and romance novels.
For research purposes, okay? Again, I'm not telling guys to read romance novels and get obsessed with romance novels and jerk off to romance novels. But at the same time, look, a little bit of research on it. But okay, but I don't even need to say that. Like, hold on. Let me say I don't even need to say it because women have seen it. They know what happens in porn.
Okay, yeah, but here's the thing though. Here's the problem. I feel like at least romance novels are a little bit more realistic. Or you can imagine them in a more realistic scenario. Porn is not.
Okay, yes.
And it feels, as a woman, it would feel like you're being fake.
Right.
And that's unattractive. Okay. That's what turns women off of this. Yep. Like they don't want to have to act like some like ooh whatever like person that's in porn or like some woman who she doesn't even have sex like that either.
Right.
She's acting.
Acting, exactly. Okay.
So like what? Like it's how can you be authentic?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to recreate the porn. Okay? Because we all know it's fake, it's not. Okay. What I'm saying, though, is if you look at how the people who engineered it, what they were thinking, because they knew the psychology of men. They know they're testing it, right? It's the attitude. It's the mindset, right? It's, again, if you look at it at the whole, what is it going to be? It's going to be women begging for it. It's going to be women being really turned on by the aspect, the idea of having sex with a man. It's going to be women pleasuring themselves. Like those are going to be the main things that are going to encompass Again, there's weird stuff and all kinds. I'm not talking about weird. I'm not talking about weird. I'm not talking about like
thin line.
I'm not talking about weird stuff. I'm just talking about like the general idea of it. If you're trying to get into a man's head and understand what makes a man.